Merry Christmas, ladies and gentlemen. It is your host of the most, Griever, as always, bringing you guys a very, very late Akatsuki no Yona, also known as Yona of the Dawn. Yona of the Dawn, chapter 251 review entitled Divide. Now, there is a reason for why this is so late. I'm behind on everything. That's the long and the short of it, and I won't bore you with any of the long-winded details to just say I'm behind in more aspects of my life than just YouTube. So right now, it just took a back seat. That is what it is. That being said, also, in all honesty, there's so much theorizing to do about this chapter, but at the same time, there's not, right? Because when we open up the chapter, we have a beautiful color spread, by the way. We open up the chapter, and what we do get is the condition of soo-won right now. And Minso and Yona, they're trying to patch him up and stuff. And Minso's like, yes, we're going to save him. No problem. You know, we got this, right? But then apparently this Lord Sugua, Lord Sogo, whatever his name is, he shows up as one of the one of the shadows. You know, it wasn't just Hiryu. He was probably the leader, but these are also other lords who, you know, devoted their life to Yuhan, and now they became the background, the shadows of soo-won sort of idea, right? And they remarked that they are going to go kill the monster that, you know, injured soo-won. They're going to go after the dragon. And Kiso's sort of like, okay, but I don't really see much of a point sort of idea. Kiso, for once, is sort of the backpedaler here, and then they accuse him of having Yona's influence. Like, you've gotten soft, and it's like, well, we have no idea where this dragon went off to. You are all going to abandon his majesty, right? Like this isn't said in the chapter, but this is stupid to a certain degree, because it said, oh, we're also going to borrow Rappa. Whoever the hell Rappa is, I have no idea. But they're like, we're going to take Rappa with us as well. And Kiso's like, Nani? Da-ding? And he's just like, okay, wait a minute. Whoa, slow down here, people. And it's like, we took on this role when Yuhan was killed and butchered. And now we swore we would follow his son and stuff, and not Yona, and blah, 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 blah. And we are going to go do this and stuff. You've gotten too lenient, yada, yada, yada. They go on this spiel. The holier than thou, righter than righteousness itself. And they go on this whole spiel. And it's like, get off your fucking high horse. Because even though it's not said in the chapter, as I was about to say, now that we have all that context, you're his shadows. First and foremost, weren't you supposed to protect him? So where the fuck were you when Shin-Ah was attacking? Out of curiosity, like, once again, we had generals galore, we had all this stuff. But I didn't see you guys. I've never seen you guys in the manga. 250 chapters, never once fucking seen you. So, your own damn fault. You clearly didn't do a good job protecting his majesty. Some shadows you are. So, first and foremost, partially your fault. So maybe, you know, maybe you should get off your high horse a little bit for that. Part number two is, okay, so now that you finally decided maybe we should come out of the shadows and do something for a change, your first plan, as the bodyguards, as the guardians, the one because we can't leave the safety of soo-won to anybody else, is to literally abandon him. Last time I checked, he was just attacked in a friendly camp. In the middle of his own goddamn camp. And your first thought is, let's take away our detail that did fuck all when he was attacked before and hunt the one thing that attacked him and leave him literally defenseless. Because by the way the cockiness of the Ten Shadows is that they don't trust the Wind Tribe or any normal, like, foot soldier or anybody to do an adequate job of protecting His Majesty soo-won. So the logic is fucking bam, baby, right out to left field. 100%. 100% right out there in left field, okay? I'm just saying, like, that shit is gone. It's gone. So, yeah, that's my first thought when coming to this chapter, okay? That was my first thing, was like, these guys are more self-righteous than goddamn Catholics, and they're just as wrong as the goddamn Catholics. So, yeah, so right out of the gate, just not feeling that at all. So, Then we actually jump back to when Shin-ah appeared, of course, and then he disappeared immediately from Yona and everyone, and Yona just can't seem to take it. Hawk manages to hold her up. He's like, Shin-ah, he was here. It wasn't a dream. Like, I didn't hallucinate him, blah, blah, blah. And then, Kija was like, you didn't hallucinate him. Here are the ropes. They're stained with his blood. We know he was here. I don't know what happened, but I can't sense his presence anymore. I don't know what's going on. Like, we didn't do anything to help him and blah. And so they're all blaming themselves. It's the blame game, right? But of course, they're all being good to each other and stuff. It's not your fault. The way he disappeared is suspicious. And then they don't admit that jae-ha has died. They're like, 2 of our friends have disappeared. And things aren't adding up. We got to do something right here, right now. And so Yona declares, we're going to search for Zeno no matter how long it takes. Kija and Hawk agree. And then you called... What? 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 Like, I have no... This through, I imagine everyone for a loop. I haven't had time to check, like, Reddits and Discords and stuff that follow Yona. Especially the main Yona Discord and stuff. I can imagine the collective fan base had the exact same reaction I did. Yeah, because there is no explanation for this shit. Not in a bad way, like, oh my god, this is the worst writing ever. No. In a, what the actual fuck? Seriously, like, got no words for this. We all think like, oh, I've been noticed sort of idea by Shin-ah, right? We saw the thing. Zeno was back in human form, not in dragon form, seemed to have control of his body, noticed that Shin-ah found him, then Shin-ah disappears after noticing Zeno, and Zeno's like, oh, he's looking at me, I've been found. And then it's like, oh shit. And then it goes, and then Zeno shows up, and I'm like, okay, is this an illusion? Is this the wrong deal? Blah, 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 blah. But our regular Zeno, so there's something going. Something's going down, and in all honesty, part of the reason I didn't do the review, I did have 1 or 2 opportunities since the chapter came out to do this review. But I had no theories. Like, Zeno's hiding something. Zeno knows something that we, the readers, and Yona and the group, do not know of. There's a link. There's the hidden knowledge. There's lore. There's something that's going down that Zeno's aware of that we, the readers, are not aware of. And I wanted to try my best to come up with what that could possibly be, like any type of theory, any nugget of information. And 2.5 weeks later, I got nothing. Zero, nada. I've left the bank with less money than when I fucking started. I've got nothing. I have nothing. You guys can offer your own opinions and stuff like that, but I seriously don't know. Clearly there's something. We know there's something. But beyond that, I can't see, and I've done about 5 or 6 rereadings of Yona. I love this series. I got nothing. Nothing. Like, I don't know what's going on with Zeno. Was he clearly... I think Shin-ah saw the real Zeno, and this is still the real Zeno and stuff like that. But I have no idea. But Zeno comes back. He's scarred up. He's fine, though, of course, because Zeno is bloody and stuff. He's like, Zeno, yo. He's like, oh, I'm here. Your wounds? Yo, Zeno's wounds have healed already. And then Yona completely, like, crumbles down and is like, what's up? You say, and they're just completely beside themselves. And that's when Yona starts like crying and stuff, like, truly, I'm so glad you came back and stuff. And Zeno is looking down like, oh, the mist was worrying about me and stuff, right? And of course, this is very Zeno. This is very, very Zeno to be like, oh, the young mist was worried about me. The missus was worried about me. It's okay. Like, I'm here and I'm fine and stuff like that, right? So, but Zeno clearly knew that Yona would be worried, and clearly knew, so that I'm gonna make the argument, my only theory regarding this is that he is putting on the facade of being the normal Zeno right now, but he knows way more than he's letting on about what's happening, what's going on, and there's a way darker history going now. But clearly Zeno thought now was the time with Shin-ah disappearing and jae-ha disappearing, and he probably knows something about it, but he decided now was the time to return to the group as himself, but also play stupid, play ignorant, and just be like, oh, the mist was worrying, and stuff like that. Alright, so it's all good. And once again, Ao is there on Zeno's shoulder during this, so we can surmise that this is definitely the true Zeno, 100%, because animals can sense that shit, and I don't believe that would be play off. I don't think an illusion could trick an animal in that regard, Like, you could never... If you got plastic surgery and you went in and stuff because of a million factors, but you'll never trick a dog of who their owner is. They know, they have a sixth, beyond the five senses, animals have a sixth sense, and, it's why they always say, like, cats and dogs and stuff see dead people and stuff in the corners. My own parents' cat constantly stares at the front door, in the corner by the front door, stares at that corner for, like, minutes at a time, randomly at times, and he's seeing something. He's seeing something in that corner. I don't know what, but he's seeing something, and I'm not one to believe in that shit. But still, he's clearly seeing something. So, and I think that the author knows this, the mangaka knows this, and so I do definitely believe this is the real Zeno. So any theories that this isn't the real Zeno, I'm sorry, I'm throwing that one sort of right in the trash bin automatically. But I think he is playing. I think he's putting on this act. He's pretending to be the nonchalant regular Zeno we know, while knowing way more than he's letting on. And then, Kijin and stuff said, we don't know what's going on with the other dragons. They suddenly disappeared. You guys all transformed into dragons, right? How did you turn back into a human? And Zeno says, I don't really remember. And I think he's lying right there. He said, when I came to, I was left alone in the wilds. And then he said, can you sense jae-ha or Shin-ah? They were here a few moments ago. And they said, like, Kijin says, well, I'm not in a great condition, but Hiryu Castle doesn't affect you like it affects us. So, can you sense them? And he's like, if it's you, Zeno, and he's like, I can't sense them either. And this really gets Yona in a bad mood. Now, that's when Hawk basically says, Zeno, if there's no problem with your body, isn't it difficult to sense the others after Hiryu Castle was burned down? And he's like, yeah. So it's like, so what Hawk is referring to is that Kija is already unhealthy right now, but Zeno doesn't suffer from that same problem. However, Hiryu Castle was burnt down, so his magical properties, his spiritual effects, are probably still weak, even though he's physically fine. And Hawk brings that up, and Zeno's like, well, yeah, basically. So that's what, and then they asked about the chalice of blood. It was taken away by Chao Gol and stuff, and she mentions your dream, like, you were in my dream, you were holding it, like, what's going on? And he goes, no, I know nothing about the dreams and stuff, I don't have it. Now, I'm going to say that Zeno probably does have the chalice. Zeno does know what's happening right now. But I'm not going to say he's evil. Once again, I think that this is all for the greater good. This is all for the greater overall plot. He needs to do this sort of idea. I'm going on that limb right now. So this is where Yona is very relieved that Zeno came back and stuff like that, and is waiting for the other dragons to come back. And Zeno seems a little melancholy in regards to this statement. That's when Hawk, of course, notices the approaching riders. And here we go. Here come the bitch squad. The bitch squad. Okay, now. Oh, the bitch squad, ladies and gentlemen. The bitch squad. That's what I'm going to refer to these losers as. Because once again, you guys know from the beginning of this review, I already don't have a great opinion of these fucking tools. Okay? These holier than thou, we think we're better than the Pope level Catholics over here, thinking that they know fuck all. And by the way, what I love Hawk here. The Thunder Beast ain't taking shit. And also, by the way, like, before we even get into it, because I'm going to go through this one, like, this deserved to be a live reaction, but that would have been an hour long, so I would have been sitting here screaming at you guys for 7 minutes. I would have jumped out of my chair and been like, stop fucking with the two strongest people in the universe. First off, the one guy that you cannot physically kill, who will kill all of you and not die, is standing right fucking there. You're aware of this. And on top of that, the one dude that he actually, an immortal who can't die, but doesn't want to fight because he's too fucking scary, is the Thunder Beast, who's standing right fucking there. And your plan is to piss off not one, but both of these people that you can't beat. Hawk can kill all of these dudes, guaranteed by himself. Grievously wounded by the end, but he wins. In a 5-on-1, 10-on-1 against these losers, he wins. He's the Thunder Beast. He will win. Zeno wins and comes out totally unscathed by the end. And your plan, like, I feel like Morgan Freeman explaining to the lawyer dude who's like, I know who Batman is and stuff, and he's like, let me get this straight. You know, I feel like I'm literally quoting the Morgan Freeman scene from Dark Knight. Like, you know, your plan, one of the most, you know, wealthy, most powerful men in the world is secretly a vigilante that spends his nights on rooftops beating criminals to a pulp with his bare hands. And your plan is to blackmail this person? Good luck. You know, like, seriously. The Morgan Freeman speech in Dark Knight fits this to a fucking I-T-A-B-C, every letter in the alphabet. Let's go Greek alphabet with this shit. Let's go Dwarvish. Tolkien's Dwarvish. Let's go the Black Speech of Mordor level. There aren't enough letters in languages to speak how true this statement is. God damn. And guys, that was a shortened version of the rant you would have gotten had I live reacted to this shit. Because when I read this shit, I was sitting on the same page, just like dumbfounded by the stupidity of these shadows of soo-won, who are just so fucking over their heads and so damn stupid. Plus, Hawk is, we can argue, probably like 95-90% of full health. Zeno's at 100. You guys are gonna die here. Zeno, here's what Hawk says. Zeno, make sure that nobody fucking hurts Yona and Kija right now. And I'm about to go wreck their shit. Zeno's like, sure, mister, go have fun. Try not to lob off too many body parts. That's the way this situation goes down. There's no other way this goes down. So, Hiryu was an exception. Hyori, not Hiryu, Hyori was a bit of an exception. He was touted to be the guy, the one guy that makes even Hawk a little intimidated. But the other shadows cannot be that level. I'm sorry. They're just, it doesn't make sense. It didn't make sense when that Chao Gol and his group were like these top tier dudes, and then that power scaling got fucked up entirely in this arc, by the way. That got screwed up to the shit because of the Zing guys, right? So that got ruined. That still makes no sense. So Hyori's power scaling is all over the place now. So, anyways, that's only the short snippet. You guys would have dealt with a rant for 25 minutes. Trust me. Now, this is where we're going to go through this, alright? Live reaction style, because there's only 5 or 6 pages. So, the group sees him, this guy who thinks he's intimidating. Who are you? And then Yona immediately recognizes their presence, said, you're Soo-won's bodyguards, right? What's wrong? And then Buddy explains, Princess Yona, a moment ago, a monster that we identified as a blue dragon, went on a rampage, blah, 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 hurt Soo-won, it went on the loose, do you happen to know anything? Like, we're after it. And he goes, and then they say, Shinnao was on a rampage, he injured Soo-won, like, they don't have this information, so now they're gaining, like, what happened in the encampment. Yona says, is that true? What's happened to Soo-won? What's going on? And they said it's still too early to tell. He's being treated right now, but he lost a lot of blood, right? And then they say, hey, that's the, and then one of the soldiers, Rappa, who then I was like, okay, who the hell is Rappa? And then, remember I mentioned that? And boom, it's one of the dudes who worked with Hawk as one of the Sky Tribes guys. They borrowed Rappa specifically. I scratch my beard for this reason, to make more emphasis on the Something's going on with that. Anyways, so it's like, okay, they notice that the rope, it's the rope that they use, blah, blah, blah. It's dried blood all over it and stuff like that. And so then you were the ones who injured him. That was your rope and stuff. And they said the Wind Tribe tied it down. It was left no choice after it went on a rampage and stuff. Now, of course, he's sort of spinning the story in the wrong direction. But they say the Blue Dragon was really here. We'll dispose of it upon finding it. And Yona's like, wait, what? dispose. It's like, this is a natural measure. Now, hand over the blue dragon to us. It's like, you just admitted you're going to kill the blue dragon. So, like, once again, like, one-dimensional villains acting like one-dimensional villains. So goddamn stupid. Like, they don't even know how to manipulate. And then they're like, well, Shina is not here. He's gone. And they're like, we don't believe you. You're clearly hiding him. It's like, okay, first off, I'm not. I'm trying to find him. But you know very well right now is that you just said you're going to kill him. So even if I did have him, I ain't handing him over to you. Are you fucking stupid? Right? That's not what she says. But it's what I'm fucking saying, okay? I'm going to swear a lot more. Trust me, this bitch squad needs to be sworn at a lot more. These smug cunts. Yeah, and see, I even used the worst word. I don't know why, because apparently in like Australia or something, like cunt is not like, that's like shit to them or something like that. Like, it's not that bad. But in North America, that's the echelon. That's the S tier. That's the epitome of swear words. You call someone a cunt, and it just fucking opens fire. I'll probably get demonetized on a video that I don't even monetize here. This video will be taken down from my level of using that word. So, anyways, but yeah, that's what they are. So, going forward, just in case, I'll probably refrain from using it again. But, because I don't want this video taken down, obviously. But, you know, it is good that I don't monetize for that very reason, because first off, my tax bracket would hate me because I don't make, I would only make like $5-6 off of this account month to month, you know, with my viewership and stuff, and all it would do is make me pay in taxes when I get money back right now with my full-time job. So yeah, not a good idea. Really not a good idea to do that. So anyway, off topic. That was the tangent. So alright, so this guy looks down like, you're keeping information from moi, you know. And so then Kija tries to explain, it's like, it's extremely difficult for the Dragon Warriors to keep their sense of self when they transform into dragons. Shina would never have harmed the king or anyone else out of ill will. So please, you know. And then he cuts him off and says, in other words, the Dragon Warriors will, at the drop of a hat, turn into these monsters and will not understand human language or anything. So he goes, and then he looks at Zeno and Kija and goes, if so, then the two over there, hand them over. And then, whoosh, it's gorgeous. Hawk is one of the best characters. He has no time for this shit. And it's just like, nope. Cuts him off with his glaive, one-handed. A weapon that, it's like an Escanor move. Like, this weapon is far too short. Like, the handle's too short to be a two-handed. That's because it's a one-handed axe. Boom, baby. You know, it's the same deal with Hawk here. He's like, I'm going to take this heavy-ass glaive that normally everyone needs two hands to hold, and I'm going to hold it steady with one hand outstretched. This is my line. It's like the Rayleigh shit. My apprentice is about to go out on a journey. Anyone who wants to fight me, cross this line. But you're not getting to Straw Hat Luffy. You know, I just, like, nobody was fucking with that shit. Nobody. And the same thing here. Hawk's like, aren't you pretty? I love his response. Like, his dialogue is amazing right now. He's like, aren't you getting pretty rowdy all of a sudden? You're His Majesty Soo-won's... what was it? Like, literally, he is being passive-aggressive as fuck. Passive-aggressive Hawk. His peak is, to use a term or phrase that the youngins use, peak. Back in the day, it was fire. But he's fire. He is literally just like, chef's kiss with this shit. He's like, and then they pretend like he's not the be-all and end-all. They pretend, you're nothing but a Sky Tribe guard captain. Are you stupid? Well, I am, because I just reopened my goddamn burn wound. Oh my god, by clapping my hands together, that hurt like a fucking, oh my... Whew, motherfucker. Okay, I might have to cut that out. It depends on if I have time. Okay, well, that hurt. Yep, okay. Hands shaking. My heart's beating. My hands are shaking. Alright, so let's remind myself not to clap my hands together again. Oh my god, that hurts. That stings like a bitch. Okay. Probably should have went to the hospital for that. Anyways, alright, so he goes on, you're nothing but a Sky Tribe guard captain. You moron. And we have been His Majesty's close attendants since the old days. Our will is His Majesty's will. Stand back, you rude bastard. Okay. So, I was going to call him out on all this shit. Then, Hawk does it for me. He's like, I've known him from way back too. So stop bragging. Like, I love the stop bragging. Stop acting as though you've known him longer than I have. Because maybe by all of 6 months. I've been there since the beginning too. Piss off. That's not a feat. I've known him for 5 years. I've known him for 7. Doesn't matter. Fuck off. You know what I mean? Like, I can't imagine that this guy's will would be to capture the dragons right away and dispose of them. Yeah, Hawk's like, soo-won would not want you to kill the dragons. I know this because I know him better than you. He doesn't say it, but that's what he's implying. And he even says, exterminating the dragons, exterminating dangerous animals is our natural duty. They're not harmful animals. Shin and the others became dragons after they were injured and driven into a wall. That's different. It's like pissing off a mother badger. You don't drive an animal into a corner, it's going to come out slashing because it's got nothing to lose. And they're like, what they need is a safe place to rest. In the first place, you gang up on us and call yourselves bodyguards. This, close attendant that. But while you're there, you let your master receive a serious injury, calling him out. Completely, I'm not going to clap my hands again, that hurt. But calling him out on the same thing I called him out at the beginning of this review is like, so the dragon shows up in a camp. Soo-won's there. You apparently shadow him, but you let this man walk straight up to a beast 18 times sizes of a bear, and you didn't do shit. That's kind of on you. You fucked up as bodyguards, close attendants, shadows, whatever you want to give titles you give to yourselves. You fucked up. Soo-won wouldn't have been injured if you did your damn job, and that's what Hawk is basically saying. He said, Soo-won told us he wanted us to search for the dragons. Probably communicate about this matter with your master first, and then we can discuss. Basically saying, dog, go home and lick your wounds and talk to your master before you come at me. Because I have direct orders from him too. And they don't line up with yours. So piss off. So then, Buddy basically still pretends like he's in charge here and goes, we know that he told you to search for them. Just as the words he shared with you alone. And at first, I was thinking the words he heard the last word, which he probably did, but the words that we still don't know that Soo-won said at the end of their conversation. And then Hawk notices that and he said, no way, you were listening then? And what they're referring to is when he said, after I die, Yona will be the princess of the, will rule the kingdom. And then these guys draw their swords like morons and said, yeah, and we don't recognize it. So, these guys are power-hungry idiots. Okay, so that's the end of the chapter. But I still got some ranting to get out here, okay? So, first and foremost, they're dogs. Literal dogs, okay? They're dogs of Soo-won, right? They're his shadows, okay? So, by that logic, they do whatever their master, as Hawk was passively aggressively being, say, hey, go play fetch, because you do whatever your master tells you to do. So go play fetch for somebody else right now and leave me the fuck alone. They are literally saying that as long as what Soo-won says they believe in is okay, but the moment, so they're not knights, these are cowards. These are fucking they're turncoats. They're losers. They're cowards, they're losers, they're every other guy, they're cunts. I'm going to say it again, they're cunts. Because as long as everything that they agree with lines up with what Soo-won does, it's all gravy. The moment he declares something that they don't recognize or they don't want to follow, they're like, fuck that order, we're not going to listen to it. So they know that Soo-won, like Hawk pointed out, they know that he wouldn't want the dragons hurt. They ignore it. They know that he intends to make Yona the next ruler of Koka Kingdom, and since they don't like it, they ignore it. So they're shitty knights, shitty bodyguards, because, so they're shitty knights, like if they're supposed to be knights of any description, honorable men, honorable warriors, soldiers, whatever, they're breaking their oath or their command or whatever to their king, to their literal monarchy, not once, not twice, but 3 fucking times in a row, right out of the gate, so they're shitty at that. Number 2, if they're supposed to be bodyguards, they're really shitty at that, as Hawk pointed out, and as I pointed out. Where the fuck were you when this man got injured then? You weren't around. You weren't around that whole chapter. You didn't even show up when he got injured, like, holy shit, and attacked the dragon. You did nothing. You weren't there. You physically did not show up in that chapter. So, you're really shitty at being bodyguards. Example, exhibit fucking A. So, they're shitty knights. They're shitty bodyguards. Are they good shadows? Well, when the entirety of them leave, you're not a very good shadow anymore either. So the fact that now Hyori is now probably dead in Hiryu Castle or some shit, and maybe he survived, but injured, whatever, he's gone. So this is what we understand is the rest of the shadows all left His Majesty's side miles away. I mean, now he's not shadowed anymore. So they're shitty at being shadows too. They have failed at 3 separate jobs. They have 3 job titles, and they severely fucked up job title number 1. They are grounds for firing on job number 2, and job number 3, misdemeanor, maybe a slap on the wrist, but still they abandoned their goddamn post. That's basically not showing up for work with no phone call, you know? So, you know, put to the death for number 1, fired for number 2, and definitely not given a paycheck that week for number 3. But the fact that they have 3 jobs and they did none of them correctly, not one was done correctly in the last 2 chapters. 2 chapters, and we get introduced to these guys in 1 chapter, and within 2 chapters, we know they are that bad at all their jobs. That is hilarious to me. Fucking hilarious. And once again, I could go on the argument that this moron is drawing his swords, knowing that these are the dragons, knowing they can transform into beasts that he can't kill. Zeno he can't kill. He should know that by now. And he's going to pick a fight. You're just a Sky Tribe Guard captain. Are you seriously telling me the Shadow of soo-won does not know this dude is the Thunder Beast? You think you're good enough to take on the Thunder Beast? Are you stupid? There is no evidence that this dude is anything better than a regular general level of the Koka Kingdom. There's no evidence to say this guy is better than Gwen Tai at full power, better than Moondok, better than, anybody. I mean, I argue he's probably a really good warrior, but there's no evidence for us, from a dude we just got introduced to, that he's not Hyori, and he's not Hawk. What the fuck is with this guy's confidence level? This guy's about to die. Like, you know what they're going to do? They're going to pull some really bullshit tactics. Smoke grenades, poison grenades, blind Hawk, stab him in the back. That's the only way they get this. And if they start trying to kill Hawk, Zeno, regardless of Zeno's plan, Zeno's going to get mad. And if Zeno gets mad, if the Mist gets hurt, so I know we're still unsure what Zeno's whole design here is, but if the Mister gets hurt, or the Mist gets hurt, Zeno is going to go fucking full bloodlust on these assholes, and he will willingly he'll do a Vlad the Impaler with all their swords. He'll stab the sword in the ground, head on top of it, and he'll do it for fun. He will Dracula these guys. So, these guys are just dumb. They're shitty at their job, and now they're picking a fight that they couldn't win even if half the people they're picking the fight with weren't there. They can't win if one of these people stood there. They cannot win against Zeno, and they can't win against Hawk. And both of them are there! I mean, dumbasses. 110% dumbasses. Anyways, that's the chapter. I hope that it was worth waiting for, because now it's like a 45-minute review. But I hope it was worth waiting for, guys, because I had a lot to say about that. I was trying my best to come up with a theory on what is Zeno's plan, or what's the... It's probably not Zeno's plan. Zeno knows something, and that's why he's done A, B, and C. But what does he know? What is the thing? I'm drawing a complete blank. I don't know. And all the theories I've heard, honestly, I love you guys, but most of the theories I heard in the previous comment section and on Discord and stuff, they're kind of weak. I haven't heard anything that's actually compelling to a degree yet. Like, you know, I try to be nice and say, like, all right, that's interesting. But in all honesty, nothing's convinced me yet. Nothing's convinced me yet. So... but that doesn't mean I want to disparage you from commenting and tell me your guys' theory down in the comment section down below. Maybe, I mean, I'm drawing a blank, so all I can do is punch up at this point. You know, if you have a theory, you're one step ahead of me, right? So, but anyways, that is the review. That is the chapter. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you had a Merry Christmas, by the way. You know, Christmas Eve, Christmas, Boxing Day, all that fun jazz. I'm trying to get this one out here, on Christmas Day. It was very last minute, but I had some time, and I'm hoping to get this one out here on Christmas Day. So it might be Boxing Day, but I'm hoping to get this out by the end of Christmas. So, anyways, that's it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for the last chapter of the 2023 year for Yona of the Dawn. Yona of the Dawn, chapter 251. It was a very good chapter, though. I will admit, it got me pumped up. I'm like, okay, somebody's trying to piss off Hawk. It's always a good chapter when somebody tries to fuck with Hawk, and he just doesn't take anybody's shit. It's always fun to watch that. So either way, it was a good chapter for that in that regard. But the incompetence of this fucking group is hilarious. It's just hilarious to me. But anyways, that's it for me, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed, and once again, hope you have a great, hope you had an okay 2023 or a great 2023. I know a lot of people struggled, and I hope you have a fantastic starting off the new year 2024. I'll be here, of course, for chapter 252. Hopefully that one will actually be on time for a change. But once again, like I've been saying here at the end of my 2023 videos, I hope you guys did okay for 2023, and I hope you surrounded yourself with friends, family, good food, good drink, however you love to celebrate this last week of the year. Whether you're a holiday person or not, I just hope that you've been having a great time here before we start off 2024 with a good bang. So anyways, that's it from me, guys. Have a good one. Merry Christmas, as I said already. And sayonara. We'll see you back here next year for more Yona of the Dawn.